Hello Valiants, this is Nandi. Welcome back to Vibrant Authentic Living. Today we're looking at molasses. Now I must tell you, this is not something that I use often at all. I hardly ever use molasses, but it is considered to be an alternative to sugar, and if you are on that part of your journey where you're gradually weaning yourself off sugar, molasses is considered by some to be a healthier alternative to sugar. So I'm going to tell you about molasses, how it is made, what it is, and what are said to be the health benefits of molasses. The most striking thing for me about molasses is its dark, lovely color. Look at that dark color. It got me at the color, I must tell you that. I love dark brown. The molasses is a byproduct of the manufacture of sugar. So actually, in the making of sugar, whether it's cane sugar, beet sugar, or any other kind of sugar, the juice, in the case of the sugar cane, the cane juice is squeezed from the cane, and it is boiled, and in that boiling process the sugar forms crystals, and then the sugar crystals are removed from that. So what remains after the sugar crystals have been removed is molasses. There are different types of molasses, and mainly the difference is what stage of the manufacture each was extracted. So we have there's light molasses, which is extracted after the first batch of cane juice has been boiled, and that first set of sugar crystals have been scooped away, as far as my understanding based on my research. So we have the light molasses. As the name suggests, it has a lighter color, and it is very sweet because it still has a good amount of sugar, the simple sugar contained within it. It's of a lighter color and sweet, and persons use it in baking, for example, or as a sweetener to add to juices. Now, you know, I don't generally add any sweeteners to my juices. A handful of juices I will put some honey. For example, if I'm making sorrel or I'm making tamarind juice, which is quite tart, I might add some honey to that, but otherwise I just love to have my juices just as is, just to taste that blend of the different flavors of the fruits themselves. And most fruits have their own sweetness. They're natural. They naturally have fructose. Some will have sucrose or glucose already in them. So that's enough for me, and I really don't like putting sweeteners, whether natural sweeteners or not. Once in a while I will use molasses. I don't really like the taste either. Molasses, it has a unique taste, a very sharp taste in my opinion, and some persons find it not very inviting, not a very inviting taste. Alright, so we have the light molasses after the first batch of sugar crystals removed, and then that which remains, if it is boiled again, then another set of sugar crystals will form and be scooped away, and we have what's left, the dark molasses. The dark molasses, as the name suggests, is darker than the light one, and it will have less sugar, but it still will taste sweet. And again, persons will use that in baking and as a sweetener. If what remains is allowed to boil a third time, go through the boiling process a third time, what is left back after that batch of sugar crystals have been removed is called the black strap. Now this is an example of the black strap molasses. You see how dark and lovely it is, very dark and lovely. Let me pour some, even though I don't like the taste. As you can see, the molasses is very thick. See how it flows very slowly. So if I just have some, see how slowly it runs out. Okay. So here we have it. See how dark and lovely and thick it is. Looks like tar. So this is the black strap. It is quite, I wouldn't say bitter as in, you know, some plants are bitter. It's not bitter in that sense, but it does have, you know, a kind of burnt. It tastes more burnt. I would say it tastes burnt than bitter, but lovely color and flow to it. Just look at that. Just the color alone has me hooked. So this third batch is the black strap. Now, those persons who would say molasses is a health food, or, you know, those who take it for its health benefits, they take it as a supplement, they are more likely to recommend the black strap because it will contain less sugar, and it also has vitamins and minerals within it, whereas the sugar crystals, so persons using the brown sugar or granulated sugar, basically are just getting the sucrose. Very little, if any at all, vitamins or minerals left back. Those vitamins and minerals would have been left back in the molasses, those that survived the boiling process. And those vitamins and minerals that we're talking about, the main ones would be calcium, iron, selenium, copper, some of the B vitamins, and vitamin A, and manganese. And the first four that I mentioned, the calcium, the copper, iron, selenium, those are very good in terms of bone formation and bone maintenance, because, you know, bone is living tissue and it constantly repairs and regenerates itself, and the prevention of osteoporosis. Now the thing is, these vitamins and minerals are very widely available in other natural sources, plant sources, and so it would be counterintuitive, I think, to include molasses, which has gone through such a heavy process of cooking cooking, heat added and all of that. To go for molasses just for those vitamins and minerals which are readily available in so many other plant sources, to me that is counterintuitive. But like I said, if it is a case where you must have a sweetener, psychologically you just need to have a sweetener in your tea or your juice, then the molasses is definitely, in my opinion and in the opinion of many others, a better source of sugar than the sucrose, just the plain sugar, because at least this will have retained some of the vitamins and minerals, as opposed to just the sucrose, which that sugar has been linked to some of the deadliest diseases worldwide: obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease. So it's better, in my opinion, if you get your minerals, your vitamins, all the nutrients you need from sources that do not have as much sugar. Because remember, once you're going to take the sugar, it's calories, it's high calorie, and if you are not going to use that extra calorie, it's going to be stored as fat and it's going to cause havoc in the body. Having said that, some studies show that the blackstrap molasses contains more antioxidants than some other natural sweeteners like the honey, the maple syrup, and agave nectar. So it's a contender. It's definitely a contender, and it's up to you, really. You have to weigh and see if you really need the molasses as a supplement in your diet. For me personally, it's not something I use. Really, it's once in a blue moon, as we say, once in a very, very blue moon. If you're someone who uses molasses a lot, be careful of having too much at one time. It can cause loosening of the stool, so diarrhea, and we don't want that ever. So be careful with it. So there are pros, there are cons, and I would say it's not that I'm on the fence. Actually, I am more of the opinion that it's not necessary. You know what I mean? It's not necessary because there are so many other food sources, natural sources, that have not been manufactured so heavily, or you just pick them from the tree and they already have stacked, loaded with all of the goodness that people would claim molasses, those who are for molasses would claim. You can get them from many other sources. But I'm not knocking the dark guy. I don't knock the dark guys. I love the dark guys. So even for that reason, I will hold molasses dear to my heart, just for the color. Yes, so that's it on molasses. If you decide to use it, just use it carefully. Don't overdo it. Remember, it's sugar. Yes, it has more vitamins and minerals than the sugar crystals, but it is still sugar. Alright, so this is Nandi signing out. If you want to support the channel, just follow the link in the description. Go on over to Patreon and become a supporter. If at this time you still have not subscribed to the channel, please do so now. share the videos so others may benefit from the information. Until next time, I'll see you